Hi, I'm Kyleigh, co-owner of Freedom Vans. Welcome back to our channel, or if this is your first time visiting us, welcome to our channel. Today we have a 144 four-wheel drive Mercedes Sprinter van to show you. We do a lot of the longer bases, so it's really fun when we have this short wheelbase to show you. This is for a couple who travels between the state of Washington and Utah. You'll see a lot of Utah-specific artwork in this van, which is really cool. And it's the perfect layout for these off-road adventures. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get started in the garage today. The garage is where we house most of our systems. If you've seen our videos before, this is our favorite layout for the water system, power system. This van also has a split type AC unit and a soundbar sub in the garage as well. And then on the door panels, you can see that Utah artwork that I was talking about. We have delicate arch from the Arches National Park, and then we also have a little map of Utah. On the driver's side of our van, we have a 500 amp hour lithium battery bank system, and we went with 500 amp hours for this van because we did add the splits AC system. So our AC systems run off of the batteries, which is amazing when you're parked somewhere and want to keep your van cool, especially if you have animals in your van. This will allow that AC system to run for a full 8 hours. We also have a 3,000 watt inverter. We went with 3,000 watts, which typically we do a 2,000 or 3,000 watt inverter, but we sized up because he has an induction cooktop in this van. And then of course we have solar. The roof is full of solar on this van, so he'll be able to recharge his batteries as well to run everything. Underneath the bed platform, you'll see that big black box. That is the sub for his soundbar, which we'll see when we go inside. And then on the passenger side, we have his water system. We have this really nice location for his outdoor shower fill, and also an air compressor. Something that is unique to our builds, we do mill lumber locally. We find down trees on people's property, things like that. Tom's super passionate about going and having that milled and incorporating that into our projects. This is all local wood for our headboard, for the faces of the gear trays, and all of the edge banding within the van. On the back side of the headboard, we do have quite a bit of hooks here that'll be great for storing additional gear. These are specifically gear trays for storage. So on the passenger rear door, we do have this wall mount bike stand, and so that will allow him to do any bike maintenance from the back of his van. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. The layout that we did in this van is pretty unique for one of our 144s. I'm pretty sure that this is the first time we've done the modular dinette in a 144. It's pretty common in our 170 layouts, but I think it works really well for this van. And before we go in, we do have this really awesome outdoor table, nice and big and a great height for any outdoor activities. I personally love a good charcuterie board and some cocktails placed right here. One thing that I'm really happy about is how the finishes turned out in this van. This pine tongue and groove ceiling has some multi-coloration, different tones to the different planks, and I think that really pulled together the cabinetry and the countertops well. On the walls, we have this light gray painted shiplap, which adds a really nice texture and touch to the interior as well. So over at the dinette, we have a modular system. So we have a pull-out ottoman that can also work as a third bench seat. So if you have 3 people sitting here. Behind the dinette, we have a flip-down cup holder, which is very unique to another van conversion that we did called Half Dome. that was an idea that those clients had, and so it was really cool to see that incorporated into this 144 as well. For the dinette, we have a raised floor in the center of the 2 bench seats, and that allows the seating position to be a comfortable position while also using that front seat to extend in case they ever have someone lay down or sleep or, just rest on this dinette. The raised floor in the center serves for a great place for our underbody fan. We like to install an underbody fan because it creates a really well-rounded air circulation system in here when paired with the exhaust system in the back of the van. And then there's also storage in around that underbody fan as well. And then there's ample storage in both of the dinette seats. Above the dinette, we have a sound bar. So this is your standard AC sound bar that you might install at your house, and the technology for these sound bars have come so far. The sound quality is really amazing, so this is a great option for vans. We have some under cabinet lighting, and then we have our electrical control station right here by the bed. That's a great location for the controls because you can access it from the dinette, easily from the kitchen, or when you're in bed, which is really great for accessing your HVAC system. Over on the control panel, we have his battery monitor, so he can look to see what percentage the batteries are at. This is also a smart system, so there is a Bluetooth app that he can use on his phone to get more monitoring information. To the right of that, we have the heater. This is such a great control to be able to access from bed with all of the insulation, and once you add window covers, the van holds heat really well. So really you can turn it on, heat up the van. If you're not going in and out, it'll hold the heat well, so you can turn it off once it's to temp in here. Above that, we have the underbody fan control. This is really cool because it opens up. And that's where you can access all of your fuses. So if any of the DC components were ever not working, the first thing you would do is come in here and check the fuse to make sure it's not blown. Underneath there, we have the control for the split type system. A little bit about that split type system. So we use the Cruise and Comfort split type system, and half of it is underneath the van where the spare tire would go, and that's why we have the spare tire on the rear door. And then the other half is in the garage above that water system. The split type system is the biggest investment AC system that we have, but it's really great because it frees up roof space for extra solar, and you have more control over where the venting locations go. That's the control for this right here. And then we do have his light switches here. They're both on dimmers. And then an outlet in your bed, which is great if you want to plug in your phone, or easily accessible from the dinette as well. On the other side, we have another electrical conduit here, and we have the light for the outdoor porch light, as we like to call it. We have the vents for the AC system, another outlet that's easily accessible from the kitchen or bed. The bed is a queen-sized bed. If you noticed on the exterior of the van, we do have the flare space bump outs, and so it is a good 6'5" in length of the bed, and then 60 inches wide. Let's talk about a little bit about the kitchen galley. So with the 144s, the kitchens are a little bit smaller than we put in a 170, of course. We really love to have the kitchen galley on the passenger side of the van. One, it's a really nice place to look out while you're cooking and preparing food, but also it makes a lot of sense for venting from the cooktop. In my personal van, we have our cooktop on this side. Even if it's raining out, we can crack the door a little bit, and it's just one more step of ventilation. So he has the induction cooktop. We have a countertop extension, which is so nice for giving you ample countertop space. And then we have this sink countertop insert and a nice deep square sink over here. This little faucet is for his water filter, and then We've got his sink faucet, and underneath there we do have a nice big drawer, which is going to be great for all the kitchen utensils and random kitchen needs. And then a very large cabinet underneath here. We did a 5-gallon gray water bucket. There's also a Y valve, which allows him to either drain the water from the sink into that bucket, or using biodegradable materials and off in the middle of nowhere, you can also move it so that it drains outside of the van. And then we have underneath here a water system panel where he can see the level of his freshwater tank, and then turn on or off the water heater. And then we do have a 3.2 cubic foot Vitrifrigo stainless steel refrigerator underneath here too, which is DC powered. That pretty much covers our interior layout for this van. This will be great for adventures. It's nice and simple, has great views all around, like panoramic windows, we are also using great window covers, so he'll be able to close it up and moderate the temperature that way as well. Let's go ahead and wrap up this tour outside, and I'll tell you a little bit about the exterior modifications that we made. So we're not 100% done with the exterior on this. Hannah has moved into her van and is traveling around the Western US now, so we wanted to make sure that we got a nice tour that she filmed for you before she heads off on her next adventure. The big thing that we are upgrading still are the wheels and tires. We've wrapped up the suspension. We went with the Stage 4.3 suspension system from Van Compass. We have a backwoods bumper on the front, which has great coverage, great insurance for being out on the road if anything happens. On the roof, we do have one of our custom roof racks. On the roof rack, we have a 395-watt solar panel. We like to use LG residential panels because they're so hardy, so they're a great addition to these vans. We did add the flare space bed flares to give them additional space to sleep side to side in the van. And then we added some Owl Vans accessories on the back, the B2 bike carrier with the cargo box, and a ladder tire combo. That is a wrap for this van conversion. Let me know what you think in the comments, and we will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.